Are you eating what you believe is a protein-rich diet, but still noticing your strength decline, your muscles thinning, or your energy fading as you get into your 60s and beyond? Here's the reality. Muscle loss after the age of 60 is one of the most overlooked drivers of fatigue, frailty, and even accelerated aging. The medical term for this is sarcopenia, and it begins quietly, often years before you notice it. Most people are told to eat more eggs, chicken, or dairy for protein. But here is a surprising truth. There are foods available today that actually contain more usable protein per serving than an egg, and they can protect your muscles even as you age. That is what we are going to unpack in this session. Now, let us start by understanding why protein matters so much more after 60. When you were in your 20s or 30s, your body had a natural anabolic edge, meaning your muscles could respond to protein and exercise with relative ease. Testosterone, estrogen, growth hormone, and insulin sensitivity were all working in your favor. But as we age, these signals decline. Your body does not absorb or utilize protein as efficiently. The liver, which processes amino acids into usable building blocks, becomes less responsive, and if your insulin sensitivity has declined, which it often does, then your muscles cannot pull in those amino acids efficiently. The result, even if you are eating the same diet you ate 20 years ago, your body is getting less benefit from it. Here is where the right kind of protein becomes critical. Not all proteins are equal. Egg protein is excellent, but new research is showing that there are foods, some of them plant-based, that deliver more protein per calorie and often with added benefits like fiber, antioxidants, and lower inflammatory load. These foods not only fuel your muscles, they also help lower insulin resistance, improve gut health, and reduce the inflammation that accelerates muscle breakdown. So, the stakes are high. If you do not get enough of the right kind of protein after 60, you risk losing not just strength, but independence, mobility, and even brain function. On the other hand, with the right foods, you can turn the clock back on sarcopenia, regain energy, and build resilience that protects your longevity. In today's talk, we're going to break this down into 6 key science-backed insights. We will explore protein needs change with age, what makes some foods superior to eggs for muscle protection, how hormones and insulin play into this, and finally, very practical steps on what to eat, when to eat it, and how to combine it with lifestyle strategies so your muscles stay strong naturally, even well into your 70s. If you've ever wondered whether you are eating the right foods for long-term strength and energy, or if you have felt your body slowing down despite doing everything right, this will be a breakthrough session for you. By the end, you will have a clear strategy you can begin today. Here is what is really going on inside your body as you cross 60. Your muscles are no longer responding to food and exercise the way they once did. The technical name for this is anabolic resistance. Think of it like this. In your 20s or 30s, your muscles were like a sponge, drop protein into your system, and they would soak it up quickly to build new tissue. After 60, that sponge becomes stiff and less absorbent. You can pour in the same amount of protein, but your body wrings less benefit from it. Why does this happen? There are 3 main root causes. First, hormonal decline. Growth hormone, testosterone, and estrogen all decline with age. And these hormones play a major role in signaling your muscles to grow and repair. Without these signals, protein alone does not have the same anabolic effect. Second, insulin resistance. Insulin is not just a blood sugar hormone, it is also a shuttle system that delivers amino acids into muscle tissue. When your body becomes resistant to insulin, something that often happens with age, especially if you are carrying extra belly fat or eating too many processed carbohydrates, the muscles cannot efficiently pull in the building blocks of protein. Third, liver efficiency. The liver is the chemical factory that takes protein you eat and breaks it into amino acids. With age, the liver's metabolic flexibility decreases. If the liver is also burdened by fatty deposits or high inflammation, it cannot supply your muscles with what they need in a timely fashion. Now, let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine you are trying to repair a house. You buy the wood, nails, and bricks. That is your protein. But if the delivery truck breaks down, if the workers are not showing up, or if the tools are rusty, the materials sit in a pile outside, never used to actually rebuild the house. That is what happens inside your body when hormones are low. Insulin is resistant and the liver is sluggish. The materials are there, but your body cannot build muscle with them. What the research shows is that after 60, the threshold of protein needed to stimulate muscle growth actually increases. In younger adults, 10 to 15 grams of high-quality protein can trigger muscle protein synthesis. In older adults, you may need 25 to 30 grams at a sitting to achieve the same effect. And if the protein source is weak, lacking key amino acids like leucine, the benefit drops even further. So what is the solution? First, you must prioritize high-quality proteins with the right amino acid profile, not just more calories. Second, pair your protein intake with strategies that improve insulin sensitivity, such as resistance training, walking after meals, and minimizing refined carbohydrates. Third, support your liver by reducing alcohol, eliminating sugary drinks, and including foods rich in polyphenols and antioxidants, like berries, green tea, and cruciferous vegetables. If this is helpful so far, tap the hype button below and consider subscribing. I post content like this every day. The supplements we are discussing in this video are tagged with the video, and you can get them easily from online stores. When you combine these strategies, better protein sources, timing, insulin sensitivity, and liver health, you are addressing the root causes of anabolic resistance. That is how you slow and even reverse muscle decline after 60. Eggs have long been considered the gold standard of protein. One large egg contains about 6 grams of protein, along with important nutrients like vitamin B12, choline, and fat-soluble vitamins. The amino acid profile of eggs is excellent, meaning they provide all the essential building blocks your body needs. In fact, for decades, nutrition science used egg protein as the benchmark against which other proteins were measured. But here is the deeper story that most people are not told. While eggs are good, they are not always the best option for older adults who want to protect muscle after 60. Here is why. Number 1. Protein density. To reach the threshold of 25 to 30 grams of protein needed for muscle synthesis in older adults, you would have to eat 4 to 5 eggs at one sitting. That is a lot of volume, and it also brings along additional dietary cholesterol and fat, which may not be ideal for everyone, especially those dealing with cardiovascular risk. Number 2, digestibility. As we age, our stomach acid production declines. This acid is critical for breaking down protein. Some people over 60 may not fully digest eggs, which means their muscles are not absorbing all 6 grams of protein per egg. Instead, some of that protein passes through without ever being utilized. Number 3, seto, tidy versus absorption. Eggs are filling. You may feel full after 2 eggs, but that only delivers about 12 grams of protein. The challenge is that fullness does not always equal adequate intake. Your brain tells you to stop eating, but your muscles still need more building blocks. Number 4, variety matters. Relying too heavily on a single protein source means you may miss out on other critical nutrients found in alternative protein-rich foods like fiber, phytonutrients, and different amino acid ratios. Let me explain with a simple analogy. Think of eggs as a reliable sedan car. Sturdy, trustworthy, gets the job done. But if your goal is to climb a mountain, that sedan may not be powerful enough. You need a stronger engine. Maybe even a different type of vehicle altogether. That is the situation with eggs. After 60, they are good, but sometimes you need something more powerful to stimulate muscle growth. Now, this does not mean you should eliminate eggs. They still offer valuable nutrients. What the research shows is that eggs work best when combined with other higher density protein sources. For example, pairing eggs with Greek yogurt or lentils at breakfast can elevate your total protein intake to the anabolic threshold needed for older adults. The key takeaway is this: eggs are excellent, but not sufficient on their own if you are over 60. You need to diversify your protein sources and in some cases replace eggs with foods that pack more protein per serving, foods that we will talk about in the next section. When we think of protein, most people default to meat, poultry, dairy, or eggs. But here is the surprising truth. There are foods, including plant-based options, that actually deliver more usable protein per serving than an egg. One of the most powerful examples is lentils. 1 cup of cooked lentils provides about 18 grams of protein, nearly triple what you would get from a single egg. But here is the remarkable part. Lentils also deliver this protein with zero cholesterol, very little fat, and a massive dose of fiber, magnesium, and polyphenols that reduce inflammation and improve insulin sensitivity. Why does this matter so much after 60? Remember our earlier discussion about insulin resistance. Lentils and other legumes not only deliver protein, they also stabilize blood sugar and enhance insulin function. That means the amino acids from lentils can be delivered into your muscle cells more efficiently. You are not just eating protein, you are improving the entire metabolic machinery that makes that protein usable. Let me explain with a whiteboard-style analogy. Imagine your muscles are like a construction site that needs bricks. Eggs deliver a few bricks at a time, which is helpful. Lentils deliver a truckload of bricks. Plus, they also hire better workers to unload them efficiently. So not only do you get more raw material, you also get better logistics inside your body to put them to use. What the research shows is compelling. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that replacing animal protein with legumes improved muscle mass maintenance in older adults, largely because of the combined effects of protein, fiber, and improved insulin response. Another trial showed that people who included lentils or beans several times per week had lower levels of inflammatory markers, which further protects against age-related muscle breakdown. And lentils are not the only food in this category. Quinoa, hemp seeds, edamame, and Greek yogurt also outperform eggs in protein density per serving. For example, 1 cup of Greek yogurt can provide 20 grams of protein, more than 3 eggs. 1 serving of hemp seeds, just 3 tablespoons, packs around 10 grams of protein plus omega-3 fatty acids that reduce inflammation. So how do you apply this practically? If you normally eat 2 eggs at breakfast, consider swapping one of them for a half cup of Greek yogurt sprinkled with hemp seeds. Now, your protein intake jumps from 12 grams to over 25 grams in one meal, enough to hit the anabolic threshold for muscle maintenance. For lunch or dinner, replace part of your meat portion with a cup of lentils or beans. This not only increases total protein, but also improves blood sugar stability, reducing the fatigue that often comes with aging. If this is connecting with you, tap the hype button below and subscribe. I share new science-based tools every day to help you stay strong and vibrant at any age. The supplements we're discussing in this video are tagged here, and you can access them easily through online stores. The key insight here is this. Do not think of protein only in terms of animal foods. By leveraging high-density protein sources like lentils, Greek yogurt, and hemp seeds, you can exceed the benefits of eggs, protecting your muscles, stabilizing your metabolism, and slowing the aging process naturally. Here is what is really happening inside your muscles when you eat protein. It is not just about the total grams. It is about whether you are getting the signal molecules that flip on muscle growth. One of the most powerful of these signals is an amino acid called leucine. Leucine is part of a group known as branched-chain amino acids, or BCAAs, which also include isoleucine and valine. Think of leucine as the ignition key in a car. You can have a full tank of gas, that is your protein, but unless you turn the key, the engine does not start. In the same way, you can eat plenty of protein, but unless you get enough leucine, the muscle-building machinery inside your cells, called mTOR, will not switch on. What the research shows is that older adults need a higher dose of leucine to activate muscle protein synthesis compared to younger people. A younger adult may need about 1.5 to 2 grams of leucine at a meal to trigger growth. An older adult may need closer to 3 grams. So where do you get leucine? Animal proteins like chicken, beef, eggs, and dairy are naturally high in leucine, but there are also plant-based options that pack a powerful leucine punch. For example, soy protein, pumpkin seeds, hemp seeds, and even peanuts deliver meaningful amounts. Whey protein, often found in Greek yogurt, or available as a supplement is one of the richest sources, which is why it is so effective for older adults. Let me give you a practical example. One egg contains about half a gram of leucine. You would need 4 to 6 eggs to reach the 3-gram leucine threshold. By contrast, 1 scoop of whey protein or 1 cup of Greek yogurt can provide nearly 3 grams in a single serving, hitting the target efficiently. Hemp seeds also provide about 1.5 grams per serving, which makes them an excellent booster. Now, let us make this even simpler with an analogy. Imagine you're trying to light a fire. Eggs give you a small spark, but not enough dry kindling to keep it going. Whey, Greek yogurt, and hemp seeds give you both the spark and the fuel, so the fire catches and burns strong. That is the difference leucine makes. Here's how you can apply this. Aim to include at least 1 leucine-rich food in every main meal. At breakfast, try Greek yogurt with hemp seeds. At lunch, add lentils or pumpkin seeds to your salad. At dinner, pair fish or chicken with a side of edamame. If you struggle to hit your protein target through food alone, a high-quality whey protein shake can be an efficient solution. The big picture is this. If you are over 60 and want to protect or rebuild muscle, you cannot just count grams of protein. You must make sure each meal contains the leucine key that turns on your muscle growth engine. Without that, the protein you eat will not be fully utilized. Here is something most people do not realize. It is not only what protein you eat, but when you eat it that determines how well your body uses it. After 60, timing becomes even more important because of anabolic resistance, that reduced responsiveness of your muscles to protein we discussed earlier. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of your muscles like a parking lot. In your 20s, there were plenty of open parking spots all day long. Every time protein showed up, your muscles could park it. After 60, fewer parking spots are available, and they only open during certain times of day. If you miss those windows, the protein just circles around without ever being parked. So, when are those windows? Number 1, morning protein. Research shows that older adults often eat very little protein at breakfast, saving most of it for dinner. This is a mistake. Your muscles have been fasting overnight, and breakfast is the perfect time to switch on muscle protein synthesis. A high-protein breakfast, 25 to 30 grams, gives your muscles the fuel they need to stay active and metabolically engaged all day long. Number 2, even distribution. Instead of eating a small amount of protein at breakfast, a modest amount at lunch, and a heavy load at dinner, aim to spread your protein more evenly across the day. Studies show that distributing 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein per meal is far more effective at preserving muscle than front-loading it into one big dinner. Number 3, post-exercise window. If you engage in resistance training or even a brisk walk, your muscles become temporarily more sensitive to protein. This is like opening extra parking spots in the lot. Eating protein within 1 to 2 hours after physical activity dramatically improves how much of that protein is used to build new muscle tissue. Number 4, evening protein. While it is best not to overload dinner, a moderate serving of protein in the evening helps stabilize blood sugar overnight and prevents muscle breakdown during sleep. Pairing protein with foods that promote melatonin, like tart cherries or walnuts, can even improve recovery. What the research shows is that older adults who consume at least 25 grams of protein at breakfast, lunch, and dinner maintain significantly more muscle mass compared to those who only eat a heavy protein meal at night. In fact, one trial published in the Journal of Nutrition, Health, and Aging showed that evenly spaced protein meals reduce sarcopenia risk by nearly 30%. So here is a practical protocol. At breakfast, aim for Greek yogurt with hemp seeds, and maybe 1 or 2 eggs. At lunch, include lentils, quinoa, or a protein-rich salad topped with pumpkin seeds or chicken. After a resistance workout, add a whey protein shake or edamame snack. At dinner, enjoy a moderate serving of fish or beans paired with colorful vegetables. If this is helping you see protein in a whole new way, hit the hype button and subscribe. I share new insights daily to help you protect your health naturally. The supplements we are discussing in this video are tagged here and available through online stores. The key takeaway is this: for people over 60, protein timing is as important as protein quantity. When you feed your muscles at the right times, Especially after fasting during the day and post-exercise, you overcome anabolic resistance and keep your body strong, energetic, and youthful. Now that we have covered the science, from anabolic resistance to the limits of eggs to leucine and the power of timing, let us put this into a practical plan you can follow starting today. Here is what a strong muscle protective lifestyle looks like, step by step. Step 1. Hit the protein target every meal. After 60, your goal is 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Think of this like giving your muscles 3 strong doses of medicine each day. This even distribution is far more effective than one heavy meal. Step 2. Choose protein with power. Eggs are good, but combine or swap them with higher density proteins. At breakfast, Greek yogurt with hemp seeds and berries. At lunch, a lentil and quinoa bowl with olive oil and greens. At dinner, wild salmon with roasted vegetables and a side of beans. Each of these meals not only supplies protein, but also antioxidants, minerals, and fiber that improve how your body uses it. Step 3. Prioritize leucine. At least one leucine-rich food should be present in each main meal. Greek yogurt, whey protein, soy, pumpkin seeds, hemp seeds, chicken, or fish. Remember, leucine is the ignition key. Without it, the protein you eat will not fully switch on the muscle-building machinery. Step 4. Move to unlock protein. Resistance training 2 to 3 times per week is non-negotiable. This does not mean heavy bodybuilding. Bodyweight squats, push-ups against a counter, resistance bands, or light dumbbells are enough. Add daily walking after meals, even 10 minutes to improve insulin sensitivity so your muscles pull in amino acids more efficiently. Think of movement as the door opener that lets protein into your muscle cells. Step 5. Support the liver and metabolism. Limit alcohol and sugar, both of which reduce the liver's ability to process amino acids. Add polyphenol-rich foods like green tea, blueberries, and cruciferous vegetables. These act like liver cleansers, keeping your protein processing factory efficient. Step 6. Sleep for repair. Muscle growth does not happen in the gym or at the dinner table. It happens while you sleep. 7 to 9 hours of restorative sleep is when growth hormone peaks, helping your body rebuild tissue. Create a dark, cool environment and avoid late-night snacking on refined carbs that spike insulin and disturb recovery. Let me give you an example of what a day could look like when you follow this protocol. Breakfast. A bowl of Greek yogurt with hemp seeds, walnuts, and blueberries. Lunch. Lentil salad with quinoa, olive oil, pumpkin seeds, and mixed greens. Snack after exercise. Whey protein shake blended with almond milk. Dinner. Salmon with roasted broccoli and a side of black beans. That one day alone delivers 90 to 100 grams of high-quality protein balanced across the day with leucine, fiber, antioxidants, and healthy fats, all working together to protect your muscles. When you live by this framework, you are not only stopping muscle loss, you are actively reversing it. What the research shows is that older adults who combine protein timing, leucine-rich foods, and resistance training can gain muscle mass and strength at nearly the same rate as much younger adults. That means age does not have to equal weakness. This is how you restore strength, energy, and longevity naturally. We began with a simple question: can one food truly outperform eggs when it comes to protecting muscle after 60? And the answer is yes, because it is not just about protein quantity, it is about quality, density, timing, and how your body uses it. Here's what we have learned today. Number 1, muscle loss after 60 is driven not only by aging itself, but by anabolic resistance. Your muscles becoming less responsive to protein. Hormonal decline, insulin resistance, and reduced liver efficiency all contribute. Number 2, while eggs are an excellent protein source, they are not always sufficient for older adults. You would need 4 or more eggs just to reach the muscle-building threshold, and even then, digestion and satiety can limit how much you actually absorb. Number 3, foods like lentils, Greek yogurt, hemp seeds, quinoa, and whey protein deliver more usable protein than eggs per serving, often with additional benefits like fiber, antioxidants, and better insulin support. These foods go beyond just supplying amino acids. They actually help your body use those amino acids effectively. Number 4, leucine is the key amino acid that flips the switch for muscle growth. Without it, protein sits unused. Including leucine-rich foods in every meal is non-negotiable after 60. Number 5, timing matters. Spreading protein evenly across breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and especially eating protein after exercise, is far more effective than saving most of it for one large evening meal. Number 6, lifestyle amplifies food. Resistance training, daily walking, liver support, and restorative sleep all work synergistically with protein to slow and even reverse muscle decline. Now, why does this matter so much? Because losing muscle is not just about looking weaker. It affects how you move, how you balance, how you burn fat, how you manage blood sugar, and even how you think. Muscle is an organ of longevity. The more you protect it, the longer and stronger you live. So here's my challenge to you. Tomorrow morning, instead of reaching for a light breakfast or just 2 eggs, try building a high-protein start. Greek yogurt with hemp seeds, or a lentil-based dish with eggs on the side. Aim for 25 to 30 grams of protein and track how you feel over the next few hours. Notice your energy, your focus, your hunger, and even your mood. That small change will show you how powerful the right protein can be when used strategically. If you apply even one of the strategies we discussed today, whether it is diversifying your protein sources, hitting your leucine target, or spreading protein more evenly across the day, you will be protecting your muscle, your metabolism, and your independence for years to come. If this added value to your health journey, like this video and subscribe. That way you can join thousands of others who are learning how to optimize their energy, strength, and longevity naturally. Remember, the supplements we discussed are tagged with this video and you can access them easily online. The bottom line is this: muscle loss is not inevitable. With the right foods, the right timing, and the right lifestyle choices, you can stay strong, energized, and resilient well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. Your body is capable of more than you think. It just needs the right tools.